the desert of the real.
Welcome to the Desert of the Real. I am your host, Ryan Hudson. And joined with me, as always, is a man who can't remember the last time he had such exquisite hedgehog goulash.
Jason Dietz.
The Desert of the Real is a movie podcast where I force Jason to watch big blockbuster movies he's refused to watch because he did not think they were worth his time. We are two English language arts high school teachers, and we attempt to use our academic training to dig deeply into movies. We explore the creativity, philosophy, film studies, and ethics in our films and push you, the listener, to think critically about your entertainment.
There may be some exaggerations in there, but for the most part, it was the third the I think is a little bit.
What do you mean the third the?
A little bit exaggerated, but other than that,
I don't even know what you mean.
I don't either.
If you haven't, it does mean a lot if you would like, share, or subscribe to listen along with us.
We did have a milestone.
We did?
This last 30 days, we had over 100 people listen to something.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, listener? We are now about to get back into teaching school. Summer's over.
It is.
And now it's school time.
Yep.
Dietz, did you have a favorite book, movie, TV show?
I should have been prepared.
Well, let me throw you one, Dietz.
Okay.
I watched, my new favorite show is on Apple Plus. It's called Widow's Bay. I even told you to watch it. Widow's Bay, it's like a horror comedy. And it's like a good balance. It's not like so goofy, it's silly. It's just naturally funny. And then there's scary parts too. And it's I'm a movie guy, not a TV show guy. I don't really binge watch anything. Yeah. I watched this show until it was all over, basically. Like every night, I'm like, I gotta watch the next episode. And you'd appreciate a lot of it because you are a horror person. And like, there's even an episode that's basically an homage to slasher films, where like someone like a masked thing or a masked person is like chasing someone, and it leans into the funny side, but it's also still pretty spooky. Anyway, Widow's Bay was my favorite show of the summer.
Cool. I've actually been, at least in the last couple of weeks, watching some older movies. And I really, really liked Seven Samurai.
Have you never seen that before?
I have not.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I realize that just discredits me entirely, but yeah, it was so good. Also, I really liked Send Help. I know that a lot of people did not, but it was, I don't know. It was just so over the top.
I like Send Help.
So much fun. They're actually, I already said Exit 8 a couple episodes ago, but if you haven't seen Exit 8, I would recommend it. I also watched, which is kind of off-brand for me, but I watched a movie called The Holdovers. Have you seen that?
Oh, Holdovers is so good.
So dang good. I think that's Giamatti's best film I've ever seen of his.
He won an Emmy
or
Golden Globe, and he was up for the Oscar. Holdovers
so
is like one of the best, newest holiday movies in a long time. Like, hey, I could watch that every Christmas time.
I guess it's a holiday movie.
I mean, it's not really.
It takes place on Christmas.
But if you're like, yeah, I got to watch Holdovers every Christmas time, like, yeah, that feels right.
I also liked We Bury the Dead. And then just one more. An older movie called Witness for the Prosecution. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
But it's well acted, it's well plotted, and the end of it is amazing. So it's kind of a legal courtroom thriller drama thing. Yeah.
We are going to finish our Sherlock Holmes franchise because there's only 2 of them. I know what you're thinking. There's lots of Sherlock Holmes movies. You're right. There's a lot, but we were just doing specifically the Guy Ritchie, Robert Downey Jr. films. Actually, how many Sherlock Holmes movies have there been?
A lot. A very lot. Basil Rathbone, I think, was...
Holy moly.
Kind of the pinnacle.
Give a
Sherlock
guess
Holmes.
how many there are.
42.
No.
67.
There is no single exact count because Sherlock Holmes is the most adapted movie character in history. The Guinness World Records lists over 250 feature films starring the detective.
That's a lot.
I mean, there's a classic. Basil Rathbone did 14 Sherlock Holmes movies. Then there's this franchise that are kind of like the standouts because they're more famous. But yeah, that makes sense because like you think about it, even like the Enola Holmes, his younger sister movies on Netflix that are popular and stuff.
Sure.
Those that feature Sherlock. Or
Sure.
There's a movie with Ian McKellen who was like old Sherlock Holmes, and it was just called Mr. Holmes and stuff. Like there'll be a Sherlock Holmes movie popping up all over the place, basically.
That's because he's awesome.
He is awesome. But
Great character.
But Dietz doesn't like the characterization in these movies.
Well, that's because it's not Sherlock Holmes in these movies.
I will say at the time, this movie came out in 2011, 2 years after the
And in
first
this one, it's even less Sherlock Holmes, even the last one. So, anyhow, sorry. My bad. Carry on.
I remember at the time going and seeing it like, wow, I like this. This is a lot of fun. Maybe it's even better than the first one. But you got to remember, when you see movies, this does change things. Like, you have to wait a couple years in between. And then, like with us, a podcast, watch it 1 week, watch the next one a week after that. They're more closer together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it change our...
The warts are more visible.
Maybe. I will say, going in, I've not seen this one in a while. And I was like, well, I still think it's as good, if not better, than the first one. I will now confirmly say...
Disagree.
I think it's not as good.
Oh, good.
I think it's, I don't know, at the bare minimum, a fun action mystery.
Yes.
With Robert Downey Jr., who's not Sherlock Holmes.
No.
That was still a pretty good time.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It
Okay.
just wasn't, I don't know. It was not as good as the first one, in my opinion. Like, well, there are a number of reasons, which we'll get into. But mostly, it was so confusing. Like, I was lost at various points in this movie.
What are they doing and why are they doing it?
Yeah. Like, what are they looking for? Who are they hunting? What clue?
Yeah.
I didn't have that problem at all in the first one, like I mentioned in the last episode.
We'll get into that, I think, in just a sec. But first, some
My bad, jumping the gun.
some productive notes because we don't have a lot because we kind of covered the main point last week. They didn't know how big the first one was going to be. Huge success. They want a franchise. Let's greenlight it 2 years afterwards. Like, that's a fast turnaround.
And then they didn't.
And then they
want
stopped.
a franchise.
Right. This movie had a budget approximately $125 million, and it made $543 million. It was very huge.
Yeah, that's the same as the last one.
Financially very successful. The Jared Harris, were you a fan of Moriarty?
Not really.
Well, I like the actor.
I'd never seen him in my life. I thought it needed to be someone that we knew.
You know, I guess that's a good point because, like, actor-wise, he needed to be a big name.
Right. He did a good job, but I was expecting it to be someone famous.
What's
known.
funny is at the time, as a dumb high schooler, I think I had that thought. It's like, who's this guy? I don't care about this guy. But now that I've seen a couple things with him in it, I'm just a Jared Harris fan.
Oh.
Like, I'm a huge fan of Mad Men. He was a main character in Mad Men for a while.
Okay.
Admittedly, there's a series I should have probably seen called Chernobyl, all about Chernobyl. And everyone says it's amazing, and he's like the main guy in that.
Oh.
And like I've seen The Terror. Terror's fun, but like he's just been around, and every time he comes in, I'm like, yeah, I like that guy. But I do think I had a similar thought.
Yeah.
Like, Moriarty should be some famous person.
I agree.
Now I just kind of like him. Here's the thing, though. He said he'd only do the movie if it wasn't cliche villain. Like, I'll do it if it wasn't, like, the villain we see all the time, like in a James Bond movie or all the stuff you expect. And I kind of think it's successful in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do, so...
I mean, that's fair.
guess she was successful.
Rachel
That's part of that. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, well,
for
that's
me.
what Sherlock's trying to do. He's trying to.
That's true. That is true.
Rachel McAdams had a super short role in this movie.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, not to give my cons early, I can't help but think she should have been the character instead of the other lady. you
Mary?
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Mary. The one that they pick up that's new for this movie.
Oh, right.
I got like, where's like, shouldn't this be Rachel McAdams instead? Apparently
Maybe
she
she was too expensive or something.
well, no, she was unhappy. She wanted to have a bigger role. She apparently maybe threatened to not even be in it, but the director kind of convinced her, like, oh, we need your death to set off this adventure type of thing. But I couldn't help thinking, like, it would be better if it was Irene Adler here. Bigger sets. This is more globe-trotting. They go to London, France, Germany, Switzerland. It's literally a bigger scope type of thing.
Which is less Sherlocky.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, well, here's more money because were like successful last time, and I do think this one does feel big, like bigger.
Right.
But there's something about that first one, even though it's only all in London. It just
That's where it's supposed to be.
well, you're right.
That's where Sherlock Holmes lives and works. I don't know. Yeah. Old man shouting at the clouds.
Old man shouting at clouds. Let's see here. Why didn't they make a Sherlock Holmes 3? They intended to. They've wanted to. The problem isn't that nobody... it's not like they didn't want to do it. This is like a new franchise they can milk out type of thing. However, Robert Downey Jr. was now like Iron Man. I mean, he was in the first time, but now the Marvel machine's picking up.
Right.
He's becoming a hot commodity, and now he's busier, apparently. It just became a development nightmare, like with scheduling, which seems like a really bad excuse.
Yeah.
But
I only work 3 days a year. Sorry.
he had his Iron Man things, and then Jude Law. Jude Law said in 2013 that he and Downey and Ritchie had met about the movie, like 13 years ago. Like, all right, let's get this third one in the works.
Right.
But the process was slow, and everyone became busy, and that problem never stopped. Just people's schedules, and I guess, which is stupid because they're, I don't know.
Yeah, I would watch
you
a third
guys
one.
make things we liked, and it's like, and people are willing to do another one, and don't you think we could find the time?
Yeah.
However, apparently, everyone's favorite thing that got in the way is the COVID. COVID also is I think aligned to happen. Then COVID stopped that, and they never got back on track. Allegedly. Like Guy Ritchie, he's made movies since. Like everyone's been making stuff. And at one point, Guy Ritchie was replaced, allegedly, or apparently, and it was going to come out in 2021. The stars couldn't align. COVID got in the way. Robert Downey Jr. became too popular and busy. I don't know. Seems like a bad excuse.
Yeah, I agree.
And at the moment,
We definitely need more sequels.
apparently Guy Ritchie says he'd still like to do it. And that there is a draft in the works. But, they've been saying that for a long time now. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. Dietz, what did you think of that? Of the movie?
It was mid.
It was mid. 3 stars.
2.5.
2.5.
It was just like I already said. My main issue was it's less Sherlocky than the other one, because the whole scene at the auction he would never ever have done.
At the very beginning.
None of that would he have done. He's not rude to Mrs. Hudson.
I don't love that, but it is. I don't know.
That's just not who that character is. So that's my one. My two is we watched another movie. Oh, the Guardians of the Galaxy, where the first one was hilarious. The second one was trying to reboot all of the funny things from the first one, and in my opinion, just didn't. It felt very forced. Same thing here. all of the stuff that made Holmes like an engaging character in the first one, they kind of try to dial it up, and it just feels like he's trying too hard or something.
I think a big problem with that is they apparently were way more open for improvisation. Like
This one?
yeah, like
And he sucks as an improviser.
like Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr. kind of were like, yeah, let's just kind of riff off each other as these characters, and I think a lot of that seeped its way into the movie. I think that's part of it.
Then they both suck at improvising. So third problem I already talked about is I was lost for a lot of the movie. Like, and like stuff didn't make sense how they figured it out. I've thought a lot about it, not figured out why they shot the guy and blew up the meeting. Blowing up the meeting's probably gonna kill him, right? That made no sense to me at all.
I think it was they just needed
They just
him
wanted
to die,
make darn sure he was dead.
and they wanted to hide the assassination of one
So why don't you
specific
just blow
person.
up all of them? You don't need
I
a
guess it was-
shooter.
yeah.
You don't need it just didn't make any
They
sense.
didn't
to me.
account for a Sherlock Holmes to notice a bullet hole.
Sure,
in an
that's the
explosion.
only reason he shot him, so that Sherlock Holmes could notice.
No, I
something.
mean, I don't know.
No, I
dude.
think that's the only reason.
Sure.
And then the fourth is there's a surprising number of anachronisms in this movie,
Like what?
like CPR.
I thought of that,
I'm
but
like,
then
I
he doesn't
even
do
went-
it. He doesn't do it
He didn't
accurately.
do it right,
Yeah.
but like that's like 100 years later we start figuring out CPR. Plastic
had
surgery?
that thought.
No, not in the 1880s. Sorry. Anyhow, so from about that point on, I was like, no, this is not a good movie. And even with plastic surgery now, you can't radically and completely change someone's facial features. Like you have your underlying, unless you're like shaving bone off and reshaping crap. No. So anyhow, this was not my favorite movie, but there was some good stuff in it.
What'd you like, Dietz?
I love, and I also in the Sherlock show, I love the Holmes Mycroft rivalry thing. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I love how he calls Sherlock Shirley.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I don't know if that happens anywhere else.
Yeah.
But do you know who that guy is? That's Stephen Fry.
Sure.
Stephen Fry, he's an actor, and he's like even a British presenter. He's on like British TV shows. Like, there's a show called like IQ and stuff. But he pops up in movies and TV shows. Here's the thing, though. He also is an author. Anyway, he also writes books too. But like he's actor, yes, but also like an intelligent person seemingly. In fact, I saw this behind the scenes clip of this movie. He loves Sherlock Holmes, like the character, like everything about it.
Yeah.
When he was in high school, he was like in the Sherlock Holmes club type of thing.
Oh, cool.
And like Robert Downey Jr. said that they had like script people they can ask questions about or like just to be there. But he said more often than not, you just go ask Stephen Fry a Sherlock Holmes question because he knew it.
Oh, wow.
He like knows
That is
everything
cool.
about it type of thing. So in the interview, he said other guys would be playing sports in school, and I was reading Sherlock Holmes type of thing.
Yep.
So I like him. He seems like a
Yeah, that's cool.
person. I like how like him and Sherlock clearly are socially awkward,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
in different ways type of thing. There's some. I don't hate this movie by any means.
I didn't either. I wouldn't watch it again, but
Yeah. My biggest con, feel it's not as direct as the first one is. Like you're saying, it's easy to get lost for what's going on. I don't know, but at least stuff is happening. And Rachel McAdams isn't in it. Maybe we needed more Moriarty
probably.
stuff, but it does feel like a little watered down,
Yeah,
I suppose.
I agree.
But
That said,
oh, I think the scene highlight is the chase in the forest where they're being
Yes.
shot at.
Yep.
That's, I think, like a
wrote that
standout action scene in general, kind of. They got one of the guys on YouTube who the slow-mo guys, like their whole entire channel is let's record things exploding or doing something like crazy and let's watch it in slow-mo. They're the slow-mo guys. They got one of those YouTube guys to help them film this.
Oh, cool.
So like there's a part where I think it's Watson, he's like in mid-leap and a bullet grazes his vest.
Yeah.
They shot like an actual bullet not at a real person, but like a bust with the costume on it. And then they digitally put that over the actor. So like it's a real footage of a bullet grazing a costume put on like the actor and stuff. And the trees, for the most part, are actually things exploding and flying in the air. Wow. That's really cool.
That is really cool.
And like the Guy Ritchie energy is still present for the most part.
Yep.
Like, there's one sequence where a guy's like cranking like the big giant gun, and the camera's like it's like coming in and out of his face. Like that's, it's not something you'd usually see, but feels very Guy Ritchie to me.
Yeah, I have a couple scenes that I also like.
What'd you like?
And there was another. Oh, it was a 007 movie. They juxtaposed an opera with like events in the real world. Yeah, I really liked that with Don Giovanni and the assassination bomb. How they kept cutting it, and you could see the parallels between the two. I just think that's really cool. That's intertextuality, like you were talking about.
You know
last week.
I think intertextuality will be a newfound friend in this podcast. I had to look up what Don Giovanni was. Oh, I watched a whole video about the summary of it and stuff.
Well, maybe.
Want some context?
Maybe.
Don Giovanni, and I've learned this through actually, there's just some guy on YouTube I found. Every video is just either summarizing or have opera music playing or classical music, and it's set. He's made AI like animated stuff happening for all of them, and that's the entire channel. And every video gets like 50 views or something. But anyway, allegedly, to my limited knowledge, Don Giovanni, the character in the opera, he's like this womanizer. He's known for seducing like thousands of women or something. And like, I just made a connection in my brain. In the Les Mis play, he goes, a character calls another character a regular Don Giovanni. Like, wait a second, that just clicked. Anyway, and then in the play, it's like 3 hours too. You could watch it on YouTube. I found a whole thing, did not watch it because it's an opera on YouTube, but he like is seducing this woman, and then like the woman's dad finds out, gets involved, they fight, and Don Giovanni kills the dad and like runs away. And then like the play is the woman like getting people to chase him, and he's kind of still leaving a trail of destruction in his path. But it gets down to the end where the statue, and you see the statue in the movie, the statue says like, if you don't change your ways, or if you haven't changed your ways, you're going straight to hell, basically. And we see the statue singing to the character here. And then there's like devils and stuff playing. Yeah, that's the character going to hell. But I thought of some connections here. You can connect the themes of Don Giovanni to both Sherlock and Moriarty. The character in the opera is he's a bad guy, basically. The video said something, he's like the most famous, lovable anti-hero, because all the women love him, but he's kind of the worst type of thing. Mm-hmm. In that regard, him, the character, and Moriarty essentially view people as objects. You're not a person, you're beneath me type of thing. Right. So there's direct correlations to him and Moriarty that way. And then Don Giovanni goes to hell, Moriarty follows this big path, kind of essentially falling into hell himself type of thing. But also, I realized, because I completely forgot, that Sherlock dies in this movie. Then gets brought back to life. Dietz was very worried, and they had the accurate CPR and stuff.
Actually, do you know the history of that?
Yeah, I know it only because of the TV show Sherlock.
Oh.
Put a gigantic pin in that for just a second.
We never go back to the pins, but go ahead.
We're going to remember, because it's a gigantic pin this time. But I realized, listeners of the last few weeks know I just read How to Read Literature Like a Professor. So, what does this death symbolize? Why would they have a death in the movie or story, whatever? It's got to mean something. Sherlock died, and that's his kind of reawakening. I got to, put things in order once again type of thing, or what's actually important to me type of thing. But if you think of Sherlock and Don Giovanni, where it's like you got to repent or else you're going straight to hell, Sherlock chooses to be a better person.
Yeah.
As opposed to Moriarty. Like, he makes the choice to sacrifice himself, sacrifice in quotes, as opposed to, letting Moriarty win and survive and get out, like, to save his friend, Jude Law, to save his friend Watson and stuff. But, like...
And the rest of the world.
Essentially, Sherlock's death when he's on the train and gets brought back with, the medicine thing. It's one of those things... I forgot about this part entirely. He brings the dog back, your favorite joke from the last movie. You went out of your way to say how much you hated Sherlock doing the dog thing. Guess what? It's back.
Okay.
But then Watson's like, oh, do you have any spare of those? Here, a wedding gift. Yeah. And it's like, let me hang this gigantic lantern for later on. And then use that to bring him back. But the parallels to the opera, it's like, you died. You went to hell. Unless you change. Yeah. It's the Sherlock realizing that's going to happen if I don't change.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just kind of fun. Like, and the thing is, like, it parallels, illusions, they don't have to be direct correlations. It doesn't make sense if Sherlock's our Don Giovanni, but he still survives, doesn't go. Yeah, but it's still enough connection to make those parallels.
Yeah.
And that's part of analysis that some people get hung up on.
Yeah.
But
I started reading that book.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he comes up with emphasizes over and over is the point of doing this is to deepen your appreciation of the film.
Yeah.
So we could just watch the movie and it's an action movie, it's fun. But when you do stuff like what Ryan just did, then you can more appreciate the work that went on behind it and all of the intricacies, and like people who have seen or experienced Don Giovanni can recognize those things in this movie. So yeah, I'm enjoying that book a lot.
Yeah, but you're also an English teacher. You like
that's
things
true.
Like symbolism and themes.
That is true.
I mean, I get why some people are like, oh, boring textbook stuff. Yeah, but I like that stuff though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I really like the scene with the card reader. Have you ever read or seen The Importance of Being Earnest?
I have seen the movie.
Yeah, it felt very like that. Like The Importance of Being Earnest is my probably second or third favorite play because it's start to finish just wordplay.
We could teach it next try if you want.
We could.
It's in the curriculum.
I actually started teaching it one year. And they were not getting it, and they did not think it was hilarious. And I'm like, you know what? You don't get this. And we did something else. Because I'm like, no, this is friggin' anyhow. Especially in the movie version of that, like the interaction between the characters, it's all super clever, and it's all like immediately. Like it follows. There's no, wait a minute, let me think of a clever response to that. That's what that scene felt like to me. Because they were just batting back and forth and they were both being super clever. So I like that a lot. The chess scene at the end I thought was really, really good.
They had a professional chess player. Like the game's a real game basically.
Oh, okay.
And there's something I never would have ever known, but the game that they're playing requires a queen sacrifice.
Oh, okay.
So it's there's thought put
subtext. Yeah, and it was really cool, like the multiple layers of that scene and that conversation. The flip book made me laugh. I was not expecting that at all. He's like the little dude in the boat and he gets eaten by a shark.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm the fish, you're the fisherman, and then Shrem's like, no, I'm the fisherman, you're the fish, and then guess what? The fish eats the fisherman.
Right.
Did you notice though at that last part when they're in the ball or whatever, and there's people dancing, the ballroom looks like a chessboard.
I did not notice that.
If you ever see it, there's the giant. It's just black and white squares. It's deliberately playing into that chess motif. Because chess is like an intelligent game because hypothetically someone could theorize any potential move. It's kind of a movie shortcut to be, how do I get people to know that this is a smart character. Have them play chess.
Yeah.
That's not something that's something that does get abused in some movies. Or you have something like Professor X and Magneto playing chess because it's the same thing here. It's like two intelligent people who can win this intelligent game. Got moves and secret moves in our back pockets.
Yeah, they're especially intelligent when they can play it in their heads.
Yeah,
like they do here.
Yeah, that's I do kind of like that though.
No, I did too. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Quotes.
Couple of my favorite quotes. The one I said at the beginning because I think it's my favorite funny quote. Because I can't remember the last time I had such exquisite goulash or hedgehog goulash. When's the last time you had hedgehog goulash? I told you, Watson. I can't remember. Or it made me laugh. Well, it's like, don't we stand out? We are so overt. It's covert.
Yeah.
And I think about that sometimes because I think that's a real thing. If you stand out so much, you just kind of blend in a way.
Yeah, people just blip over you because you're not what they're expecting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, don't be a ponce, Watson. And then, I don't know, when he's shooting at the...
Yes.
He's shooting at the... I'm thinking of in the train, he shoots through the hole, and then nothing happens, and Sherlock goes, how many windows must I provide? I kind of got a laugh out of me.
I did not like the train scene.
Oh, really?
Any of it. It was way too many pieces that had to be perfectly in place for all of that to happen.
But you saw him put the pieces in, Dietz.
I know, but how would he know when that bullet was going to be... Anyhow, whatever. That's just... I thought you were going to talk about when Watson was in the tower being shot at, and then he starts moving that big 88, and the dude's like, that's cheating. That was funny. And my other one was, it's 1891. I could have chartered a balloon. When they're like, we're riding these horses. He's like, no, I don't want to ride that. That was good.
You know what? I think the first time I saw this movie, I just assumed it was all World War I stuff. Like, this is just setting up World War I. One of these characters is probably Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Not that I knew that name at the time. Right. But now I'm like, wait a second. 91? This is not World War I.
Yeah, no, this is 40 years earlier.
Arguably, yeah. Moriarty is trying to get World War I.
Oh, is that what he was trying to do? Start World War I?
I think, as far as I understand it, his plan is to start a war so that all the funds he owns now, the ammunitions and stuff.
So they have to buy his stuff.
Right.
That's right. Okay.
He wants control
I forgot.
over the world. And you almost got away with the two.
I have one that I thought was a really, like, Simza, that's her name, Roma lady.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you see? And Holmes says, everything. That's my curse. That's so cool, because you would think that would be a blessing, like you would know and be able to interact and prepare and whatever. But yeah, if you think about it, it would not be awesome. Like, that's kind of, at least in some instances, that's like what's going on with autism. It's just everything they see or hear or feel everything, and it's just too much.
Yeah.
So you're right. Maybe Holmes has a touch of autism.
I actually want to touch on something you just walked around.
We never went back to the pin.
Oh, what was it?
No, keep going.
Oh, I know. Hey, put another thing. I thought about this because, and you know this, so Dietz will correct me on anything wrong. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle killed off Sherlock, similar to this movie, off a waterfall, with Moriarty, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's based on thing that happened in the book. Then fans at the time, which was still 1800s, yeah, revolted basically.
Yep.
It's bring back our favorite character.
Yeah.
You can't do this to us.
Yep.
And then he did.
But he was so sick of writing Sherlock Holmes, and that's why he's actually kind of like the ending of, or the start of Misery. Have you seen Misery?
I know what it
where
is,
Paul
but I
Sheldon's like, yes, the bitch is dead. That's kind of what he was like. Yes, he's dead. I can write something else. Well, no, you can't.
It's got to be directly inspired from this real life Sherlock Holmes stuff. And I don't know if I'll ever watch Misery because I saw a the part when I was really little.
Like the leg.
Yeah, the
ankle part?
AFI, the American Film Institute, said the top 100 heroes and villains, and we were kind of watching it, and she was one of the villains.
Annie
and
Wilkes.
that like messed me up.
Oh, she
When I
is
saw
so
that, I was
good.
like, ah,
That's
my
one of my
eyes.
favorite. One of my favorite Sherlock or Stephen King books.
I could probably handle it now, but anyway. So here's the thing.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah, Kathy Bates is amazing,
So good in that.
and now she's
Cock-a-doodle.
If you know what her
Anyhow.
recent TV show is,
No.
she's Matlock now.
Oh, cool.
Female Matlock on Paramount Plus, so no one watches it, but that's what it is. So recently, Stranger Things. This will tie back in.
Okay.
Stranger Things ended to many disappointed fans.
Okay.
So much so, this thing called Conformity Gate said, like, look, the last season, here's all these inconsistencies. These other things are clues. There's another episode coming. That final episode was actually not the final episode. It couldn't have ended like that. How could they ended my favorite show of 10 years like that? That was awful, right? So Conformity Gate. Everyone putting these clues together, like they got a secret one coming. And then the date that they put together came and went. Nothing. And even right now, at the time of recording, the creators of Stranger Things has a movie with at least 2 of the actors from Stranger Things in it, and people are like, it's real. Here it comes, the actual ending of Stranger Things. It couldn't have ended like that. Conformity, and you know, it's kind of nice to have a little bit of hope. We're like, oh yeah, that was a big letdown, and like, well, what if there was something? But no, Netflix has never done anything that cool, and will never do something that cool. But rewind the clock a few years, another series had a similar reaction. Sherlock.
Yeah.
People were unhappy with the ending, but also people were like, oh, and here's a couple, I don't know, here's some last season spoilers for Sherlock. Watson's wife, do you remember this? Turns out to be a super secret spy. Uh-oh, she got killed off.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, they got rid of the wife because Watson and Sherlock are meant to be together. You know, and there's some sort of name about with them. I don't know what it is. It's Watson, Watlock. I don't know what it is. But then the last episode comes and goes, and guess what? Sherlock Holmes and Watson didn't end up together romantically. Fans were like, outraged. This is all real. And then like, oh wait, BBC is making a show, and it's I forgot what it's called. It's and they're like, this is a secret actual ending of Sherlock that we deserve. Where all these things, and then the show turned out to be not an acronym for Sherlock Holmes. It was just a British TV show that existed, you know. And it's just, I guess my main point is fans are crazy. Like all the way back to the original Sherlock Holmes, people reacted so aggressively to bring him back, the character, that he did. Yeah. He listened, and I don't know what the difference of stories before and after are. You probably might know. But like,
there aren't a ton after, but
there are just these immense and power or vocal fandoms that get so not visceral, but like they get so vocal is what I meant to say, that they demand things, and it's like, are the people to be gonna bend to those demands, or are they not? So it's interesting how a famous example is Sherlock Holmes, where he did like, all right, I'll bring him back, and then the BBC version, like people wanted him, essentially the studio, to do the same thing, but as of yet, that's hasn't happened. Probably will not happen.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting that, like, I think last week we talked about like my crush on Honey from the Trixie Belden series. Like, I think it's so interesting that like we get so attached to these fictional characters that, or like the whole Britney thing. You were too young for Britney Spears, right?
Yeah, I remember.
But that was insane. Like, people were so familiar with her and her life and whatever that they kind of viewed her as like their best friends, and so they would post these things on YouTube crying, and they're like, "Why don't you leave Brittany alone? She and I did," and I'm like, "What is going on?" So I don't know what it is about our emotional makeup that I guess maybe it's time, maybe how much time we've spent with them, like reading them or watching them or thinking about them. So that's why like Marvel and those kind of things have such rabid fan bases, is because like they're always talking about it. They're doing fan fiction, they're creating art, and like it's just such a part of who they are. So that was what Sherlock Holmes was 150 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like with fictional characters, it's different, but like the Britney Spears stuff, it's the parasocial relations feeling like real relations. And
well, don't you think that holds true for this too?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like philosophically, there's a thought experiment like that asks, okay, is anything outside of what you're experiencing right now real? Like if I close the door, does the stuff outside of the room cease to exist or whatever? And so our distinction between this is fiction and this is not fiction can become very, very blurred. Like the whole violent video game, wherever you stand on that, I don't think that we can really argue that violent video games and violent people are not connected in some way. Whether it's they were violent and they're attracted to those games, or the games made them that way. But I think it's the same kind of thing. Like our ability to distinguish between fictional experiences and real experiences isn't as sharply defined as I think we like to think it is. Like there's so much research into, like, another example, probably in the 80s, there were all these people having false memories. So like psychoanalytic therapy was big. It must have been the 70s. Anyhow, so these therapists would deal with mostly women, and they'd quote unquote regress them in their minds to the past and ask them questions in such a way that they remembered like their dads raping them and stuff that never ever happened, and people went to jail.
Wow.
And so our minds, we like to think that they're, I can tell the difference between this. No, we really, unless we are actively training ourselves to do that, we don't. It's not a natural thing for us. So
I also think it's crucial to also even be aware of things like that, because I think if someone's like, no, don't even have to consider that, that's not even something to ever worry about, I think it's a closed-minded mind.
Sure,
a closed mindset where it's like, you at the very least trying to empathize with someone else.
Sure.
It's like, yeah, but stuff like that does happen. The lines between reality.
My brain is now in the track. So eyewitness testimony is almost not good at all, because like you have 5 people witness something, you will have 5 pretty different versions of what happened. And so when we're looking at eyewitness testimony in a murder trial, the lawyers have chosen which eyewitness's testimony they want there. I just think it's really cool. Like the more time we spend with, in this case, with a fictional character, the more real they become to us.
See, I wonder if maybe that's something about like sequels, and why people want sequels. Like,
sure, yeah, that could be.
It's like, it feels like, oh, my old pals, Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
That makes
I want to
sense.
hang out with them again, type of thing.
Yeah, well, I totally felt that way reading books, reading those series. Like I begged my parents, can I please go to the library because I want the next book in the series. Or like Batman versus Superman, like enraged me.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm a Superman guy.
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, Batman's cool and whatever, and I was pissed. I was like, that is not possible. There's no way that is how that ends. Says who? It's fiction. It's like they can do whatever they want. But I still have not watched that movie again because I'm still mad at it. Why? Like Superman's not real, Batman's not real.
Yeah.
Well, who cares? But in my mind, there's like been an affront or an offense committed against Superman that I cannot forgive. So.
Well, and that's the Last Jedi thing with Luke Skywalker. It's like, that's not my Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's interesting. And now that you know this, you can pay closer attention to how that line gets blurred in your life, because it does for all of us.
But if you are having a good time listening to this parasocial relation is real. You're like our best friend. We like hanging out with you.
Absolutely, yeah. I would give you the rest of my Coke Zero.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the hang. I wanted to. I'm gonna unpin the other pin I pinned earlier after that big pin. See, that was a big pin we got back to.
We did.
I wanted to touch.
We weren't going to, but
I know I forgot. I totally forgot. There's something that I used to kind of roll my eyes about when people got offended around the word gypsy. But there's a podcast I used to listen to all the time. I haven't for a while, called Stuff You Should Know. And it was just like stuff you should know about gypsies. And they talked about essentially why that term is offensive or could be deemed offensive.
Right.
And I just wanted to briefly just kind of reading off of Google, but like the word gypsy is considered a slur because it was imposed on the Romanian people by outsiders based on a false historical assumption. Been tied to centuries of persecution, enslavement, and harmful stereotypes. The origin of the word, it was falsely equivalent to people supposedly from Egypt.
right.
They got the name gypsy from Egypt, and then the real history is historical research shows Roma people originated in the Indian subcontinent before migrating, and the label is the term was forced upon them by majority populations rather than chosen by the community. So, and then like there's been centuries of abuse, hundreds of years. Label has been an accompanying systematic oppression, and like even like significantly, they were one of the other main victims of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
It's like round up Jews, people of color, and gypsies, and others. There's others too, but like they were surrounded, or they were rounded up like others because of who they were, type of thing. And the preferred term is Roma or Romani. But like, I think at some points, if someone's like, "Whoa, gypsy's offensive," I could kind of be like, "Yeah, but it's not the worst." But at the same time, if we're trying to better understand others, maybe gypsy isn't the best word to use.
Right.
However, if you're Sherlock Holmes living in the 1800s, you would definitely use that word.
That's the only word there is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's some funny parts with these characters, like, Watson, prepare, we're about to be violated. They get all this stuff. Oh, Watson, whatever you do, do not drink. And then he takes a big swig.
Yeah.
Watson, whatever you do, do not dance. And he gets up and starts dancing. And apparently they spent multiple days to film that dancing sequence, but it's only like 10 seconds or something.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, that part's kind of funny. Anyway, I just want to kind of maybe highlight that.
Yeah, a little history.
Things to consider. Oh, hey, do you want to know why? Let me rephrase that. Do you know why you can't use the lavatory at the train station if you're on a train? It's because
it just drops.
They're pooping on the train tracks. You can't poop in the station because it's not going to go anywhere.
That's gross. Could have lived my whole life.
I have a couple questions for you, and then some readings. Oh, do you think when Sherlock goes to see Moriarty for the first time, he has him sign his signature so he can look around and stuff, and they're already starting their cat and mouse game, and then Sherlock is like, "Do you believe in the science of psychoanalyzing someone based on their handwriting?" Mm-hmm. And Moriarty goes, "No, I do not believe it," or whatever. And then, do you think Sherlock is psychoanalyzing him? Like, "Oh, it hints at, you're crazy." Is he just trying to get into his mind, or is it the movie saying Sherlock is saying these things are legitimate?
I'm sure he's just trying to get into his mind.
I prefer that because psychoanalyzing someone based on their signature alone, I think, is a little bit far-fetched even for Sherlock Holmes. Okay, where are my questions? Okay, so the characters are super smart, Deets.
Yes,
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So is intelligence morally neutral? So if you were smarter than the average person, are your morals...
That is a fantastic question.
It's fair to say, yeah, you're a well-learned person. You've read a lot of literature, history. You know all this stuff. Is intelligence morally neutral? Because
I'm writing that question down for my philosophy class.
And Moriarty's like, I am smarter than these people. I'm going to bend the world to my will.
I mean, there's a lot, especially of, well, even not fiction, that would suggest that it's not, or it can't be. But, I mean, there's also a lot of fiction where highly intelligent people are incredibly moral, like Gandhi, for example. So I don't... My favorite answer. It depends.
Yeah.
But I think in our fiction, highly intelligent people tend to, and maybe it's natural, but they tend to view other people as not a different species necessarily, but just not, they view them as other. They're just not me. They're not on my level. They're not where I am. Therefore, what I would consider bad, maybe they don't or wouldn't consider bad. So I would say that's a great question.
Well, like Moriarty, he is that way. He's like, these people are beneath me.
Right.
And the only reason I don't kill you is because you are as smart as I am.
That was one of my quotes that I liked. Intelligence in and of itself, yes, I think it is morally neutral. But when you couple that with the natural man or human nature, I think more often than not, it isn't. It's probably tied to humility.
Okay.
So intelligence plus humility would be morally neutral.
Oh, okay.
But if you're proud and intelligent, I would think it's very difficult to maintain a morally good or morally neutral stance. There, that's what I'm going to say. That's my answer. What do you think?
Well, what you just said reminded me of a couple of professors I've had where one professor was like, you must call me Dr. So-and-so and nothing else. Where I had one of my favorite professors, juxtaposed, is he's probably a doctor, but I don't know because he never highlighted that. But he was super smart. He taught the Shakespeare class I took and everything. But he was just so down to earth. He was awesome. Yeah. I mean, so your humility... I don't know. I guess is that the thing that makes?
So was your first professor evil?
I did not like him.
Secretly.
So we'll say yes.
Looking down on all the students as less.
I kind of feel that way a little bit.
Well, maybe I'm right. Then. Maybe I'm right.
I'm trying to say. I think from my limited knowledge, it's checking out so far.
Cool.
Type of thing. Plus, you're very smart. You got lots of humility.
Do I? Other philosophical things.
Okay.
Can I throw one in?
Yeah.
So I think it's right at the end, Moriarty's talking to Holmes, and he says, hidden within the unconscious is an insatiable desire for conflict. Do we think that's true? All human beings want conflict or need conflict? Not necessarily physical or war in the case of this movie, but do we need conflict in order to grow, or do we need conflict in order to form relationships? Or I mean, we could go on and on, but
I don't know. I feel like no matter what, you'll have conflict no matter what.
But do we want it?
We don't want it, Deets.
Well, Moriarty says we do.
For example,
Moriarty says it's insatiable.
Yeah, but that's all we know. And also, we got to put up with it anyway, so...
We only know conflict?
I mean, kinda.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
I mean, even if life is good, on all accounts, you'll bump into things.
Yeah.
Like, my AC unit just went out, and now I probably have to replace it. I'm going to deal with that now.
That sucks.
I want to deal with that.
I'm sorry.
But you could probably tough it out till winter where we don't have to use
it. Yeah, we're kind of on the downswing.
Yeah. But, I don't know, things like that will happen.
Right.
That's just something that
but do you want it?
I don't want it to happen, Deets.
So you think Moriarty's not right?
But how you react to that is who you are, kind of a
Sure.
thing. So you
I
gotta
agree.
be, we're all rough stones rolling down the hill. We gotta be smoothed out to get to our
Little Joseph Smith in there.
true essence. I think there's
So we don't necessarily have an insatiable desire for it, but how we interact with it when it inevitably comes reveals us
Yeah.
or shapes us. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
like
a
that.
video actually I was going to send you. It was with John Green. He was talking about, actually, it's one of your philosophy bros. Who has the famous line, I must imagine Sisyphus happy? Or
Yeah, that would obviously be Albert Camus.
exactly, Camus.
We have talked about Camus, and I should have known that.
Anyway, this video, which it's him signing. He's written a new book, and he's just spending lots of time writing his name on all of these, and just doing the same thing over and over again. But he talks about what Camus said: we must imagine Sisyphus happy because our lives are very Sisyphean. This rolling up boulders nonstop, all day, every day.
Yeah.
But like he makes this point where, like, yeah, we go to work. A lot of it is the same old in a lot of ways. Like,
Sure.
you gotta just kind of roll that boulder up to make ends meet, or just that's what you gotta do. But there's kind of something nice about having something to do,
Yeah.
and that's like if you didn't have something, a boulder or challenges in this metaphor, if you didn't have something, like there's something nice about that sometimes.
So you think we're built to do things? Like that's what humanity is? Because I remember like during COVID, initially, because we were doing like video conference stuff.
Yeah.
Initially, all our students were like, "Yeah, this is awesome," blah blah blah. And after like 2 weeks, they're like, "This sucks."
Yeah.
I can't. So there must be something in what it means to be human. That you're right. We want or need to do things, experience things, have conflict, and overcome it.
And is Camus the guy that it's all whatever,
Doesn't mean
anything? John Green flipped it like, yeah, but our life does have meaning though.
Does it?
Like doing this does give meaning. I think it does personally.
I do too, personally.
I'm saying Camus wrong and should be.
I agree 100%.
And that's
I hate Camus
but that's, I guess, yeah, we're all.
and Sartre and his whole little group. I think their philosophy is terrible.
I think life does have meaning. It does feel pointless sometimes, but that doesn't mean it's not meaningful.
Yeah, I agree. One more, and then
Go for it.
You can end us out. Holmes is talking to, I don't know, I didn't write it down, but he said, bad people do bad things because they can. Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
That's the only reason?
It's kind of like, let's say, for example, a teacher in a classroom lets someone get away with something they probably shouldn't have let them get away with. Probably do that again. Let's see where the boundaries are.
Yeah.
I think if no one gets punished, or a society, a classroom, a workplace, whatever, something else will happen again, just because they can.
So the corollary, I guess, to that would be, does doing a bad thing make you a bad person?
It depends. If you do a bad thing for a good reason, no.
Ha.
If you do a bad thing for a bad reason, then yes. I want to say, yeah, you're a bad person. You know how easy it is to be a good person?
Not.
It's
not very easy.
Well, you're right. I
don't know. Is it easy?
I'm
Go.
like, are you going to put the shopping cart away after you go shopping?
Oh, that
No one's
kind of
forcing
good.
you to do that, but
Yeah.
if you do it, I think that means you're a little bit better than those who just leave it in the middle of the well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, so
I
you're
think
saying
most
if I just
people-
leave my cart, that makes me a bad person because I've done a bad thing?
Hey, I'm not saying it doesn't mean that.
Well, I'm not saying that you're not saying that it doesn't mean that. That's not what I'm saying.
I think most people are basically good and like are just fine with just being good people, and that's what we see most of the
I
time.
agree.
And then there's just some bad eggs who will just.
But that's the question.
I don't know then.
No, you're right. But are they bad eggs, or are they just people that did a bad thing?
All right. I think, yeah, I don't know.
And to continue your classroom, they did a bad thing, they got away with it, and so they just did another bad thing and became a bad quote-unquote person. So it's a chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
Do bad people do bad things, or do bad things make people bad people?
Well, maybe they got a bad childhood, or they got a bad
Sure.
other situation.
Oh, this is so fun. I love doing this.
Have you ever read the short story The Stone Boy
No.
or something? The Stone Boy, as far as I remember it, it's about a boy and his brother. They have to do some farm work in the early morning, and the brother has a gun. He's playing with the gun, accidentally shoots himself. And the brother, doesn't know what to do, so he finishes his farm work.
Oh.
He goes to tell everyone what
It's
happened.
George Saunders.
Yeah,
love
I once again
George
have not read
Saunders.
since I was a freshman. But I remember though, because I think about this story all the time. The boy goes and tells everyone, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that! Oh my gosh!" And then it slowly turns to, "Wait, why did it take you so long to tell us?" And they start. Neighbors and other people are like, "What's wrong with this kid? Why he's got a heart of stone? He doesn't even care about his brother." And really, he did care. And he was, I don't know, I don't remember if he was scared, anxious, what. But then by the end, he doesn't care. Because like they're like, man, this kid doesn't care. This kid has a heart. So I'm like, oh, I guess their words affected him so much that he actually does emotionally does get cut off. And personally, I worry about this story all the time. If I'm like, did I react to this appropriately? Am I that stone boy from the short story I read forever ago? Like, I guess the point being, maybe you do care about something or a person, but because of reasons and emotions and other factors, they're just not expressing in the right way or the way we expect, and it's just like, oh, that person's
morphs inside of us.
Yeah,
and
like
poisons us.
Right. Like we don't know what's going on. So the point was, if the bad person do a bad thing, does that make him a bad person? Well, I guess ultimately we don't know.
It depends.
It depends, because maybe.
That's cool.
So hopefully it's a good short story if we go back and reread it.
And then just one line that I think encapsulates what I hope or whatever. At the very start of this movie, Watson is, I don't remember what it was, but he is telling Holmes the official version of something. And Holmes says, "Has all my instruction been for naught? You read the official version and you still believe it?" Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That is what we're aiming for. Think. Do not believe the official version just because it's the official version. Find out for yourself.
You know what?
The end. I
just mentioned a professor I didn't like earlier. I'll tell you what, though. The very first lesson we had, it was History 101. It was supposed to be an easy class, I thought. And I failed that class, dudes. And I took it again, like 100%. Like the other guy I had it from. I was like, this is easy in this class. But the other one, I think he expected a lot more than I was able to give at that time. Whatevs. But to his credit, the first lesson we had was, hey, you read something from history book. That doesn't mean that's the actual history. Read another history book about the same thing. Look into where the history was even learned. Like, who is its first primary accounts, secondary accounts? Like, what is being used in the history book itself? The lesson was, don't trust history books.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably right, but they might have some things wrong, or maybe the author has specific political views, or maybe there are things that are inaccurate, and you won't know until you look at
dig in.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I was wrong. There is a George Saunders story called The Stone Boy, but he's not the one that wrote the story you're talking about.
Oh, dang it, Dietz. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm still going to read it.
Do you know who wrote
it? It's Gina Barreau.
Do you know that guy?
I think it's a woman.
Do you know that woman?
No. But I will.
Here's my favorite idea I had or reading of this book. So Watson and Sherlock, they're best friends, they're BFFs, and depending on who you are and what fandom you want, maybe even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think there's something actually powerful with them just being just friends, believe it or not. And because you get these, I think some people get bogged down like, oh, Sherlock's jealous of Watson for getting married. He's gonna miss his friend.
Right.
I think that, you can read into it as much as you want.
Well, if you haven't read a lot of Sherlock Holmes, you have no idea the depth of this friendship. Mm-hmm. Like, it has been, like, he is quite literally Sherlock Holmes' only friend. Like, the only person that is willing to put up with all of his quirks and whatever. And so he's going, like most of us, we could, friends grow apart.
Yeah.
And it happens, and most of us would survive. He's going from 100% friends to 0 friends. So, yeah, I agree. I don't see why we need to take it any further than that, but sorry, carry on.
Well, you just reminded me, I actually saw a video once arguing that the best Sherlock Holmes adaptation is Psych, the TV show. And I know you don't like the fact that it's just episodic, kind of
I liked it for quite a while.
But it is Sherlock Holmes. There's the detective who notices things, and there's the sidekick who is there and helps out and is also really great. Anyway, so here's the thing. So Watson's getting married. He gets married at the beginning. I do actually kind of love the wedding.
Yeah.
Because he's just actually even far back like the stag party or like the the bachelor party. It's like, where are all my friends from the war? What about my doctor friends? You didn't plan this, did you? I kind of like all that, and then
I loved it.
And then poor Watson, he wins all this money, then loses it all because of the fight and stuff. Actually, it reminded me. You ever watched The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling? They're detectives that kind of get privatized to get teamed up together and stuff, and it's a really great movie. But there's a part in that movie where it's like this woman needs their help and is writing a check. Ryan Gosling's character is like, I bet we won't do anything under 3,000. Like winks at Russell Crowe. The camera pans to the check. She's written $10,000 out and starts to erase it. But it reminded me of that where Watson, fine, I'll go gamble then. And then wins a bunch and loses it all and stuff. Like, poor Watson.
He doesn't lose it. He gets knocked over.
Yeah.
That was great. I agree.
And then the actual wedding, he's clearly still, hungover. And he's, dirty.
Yeah.
So Sherlock's, brushing him up. But I think that's fun. Anyway. So, in the story, the overarching story is we got to stop Moriarty.
Yeah.
We got to solve this mystery or do the things it takes to stop Moriarty. But the underlining story is Sherlock is scared of losing Watson. Yeah. And at the beginning, Sherlock's getting married. It's like, they have us back and forth, which I didn't write down, but it's like, you're losing your life. I'm getting married.
Yeah.
You're going to, it's a great back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like, he says something about having children. You mean having a family with the woman I love? To everything negative he sees in it, Watson has this is actually the positive aspect of it. And but ultimately it's Sherlock scared of losing his best friend. Yeah. And he's, he does want Watson's help. He probably doesn't. He needs Sherlock's help, or Sherlock needs Watson's help even, because that's what they've always done. And there's even a part of Watson that kind of wants to tag along for the ride, even though he's messing with the honeymoon and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
that top layer, stop the bad guy. But Sherlock's core is, I gotta keep my friend. I want to keep my friend here to go on one last adventure. But it boils down to the moment where he's fighting Moriarty and they have the fight in their brains.
Yeah.
where it's that's kind of a fun where it's I'll do this, then this, and this. And then Moriarty's voice.
Right.
I can do this too. And then Watson walks to the door where they're about to have the fight where Sherlock probably would have lost.
Right.
And like, oh, Moriarty, he knows order and equations. He doesn't understand randomness. Where Sherlock blows the ash, throws them both over.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately because like my friend is here. Watson is here. I am going to do this ultimately for him. Yeah. The last selfless act I have in me is to save my best friend.
And then it wasn't. 'Cause
well,
he somehow knew 5 weeks earlier that he would need the breathing
the very steampunky.
Stupid.
The movie is the whole time he's just trying to preserve that him and Watson.
Yep.
Holmes still have Watson even if he has to move away with the wife. He realizes there's life enough for both of them.
Yeah.
There's just two. Maybe one day we will get one, and then when it comes out, everyone will not have seen these two and be like, "What is this?
Yeah.
This is a third movie." I'll probably go see it though.
I think I would too.
If you get Guy Ritchie and Jude Law, Robert Downey Jr.
Well, we don't have to have Robert Downey Jr.
It's everyone but Sherlock. Maybe one day we'll get it. I mean, but if we don't, it is kind of fun. It ends with the end? Question mark.
Yeah.
That's kind of I guess that never did happen in the end. It was the end
of Sherlock Holmes for us.
End of Sherlock Holmes for us. So we'll do a couple more mini series.
Okay.
And then we're going to start our second substantial big franchise.
Okay.
You remember what it is, once you forget at the moment. We're building up to all the Pixar films.
Oh, that's right.
That will take us a while, but most of them are really good. Hopefully we still like them by the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never brought the full guns of Desert of the Real on any of them. So.
They've got depth, though. I mean, I think all of them will be easy. Like, hey, this is what this movie means. And
yeah.
Philosophy,
well,
Toy Story.
If I can make a suggestion, because it's a book that, listener, you would need to read before we get to that, you should read a book called Creativity Incorporated, which is written by the founder of Pixar.
Oh,
and
nice.
it just it's the story of Pixar, but I love it because it shows why Pixar films are so much better than all other animated films, and it has to do with their approach to enabling creativity. I don't know how far away we are from the Pixar. You probably have a month and a half, 2 months. Get that book, read it. It's phenomenal, especially if you're interested in creativity, in fostering creativity, and becoming more creative, or if you just love Pixar films or stuff. So that is a book recommendation of the reel. So
next week we'll have a Jason's Choice, and then for the first time, our next series, only 2 movies.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Top Gun.
No. What is that you're doing with your mouth?
Wait till 2 weeks and you'll know. You've seen Top Gun 1.
Like a infinity
in
ago.
the 80s?
Yeah, I watched it. Well, yeah.
Well, get ready to watch it. And Top Gun Maverick. We have to, because it comes up on because it's a great movie, and I want you to watch it.
I don't want me.
Maybe you'll hate it, but you'll be wrong. And I think it's way better than the first Top Gun.
Original "I'm So Gorgeous, Look at Me" movie of Tom Cruise's.
You'll probably say so. Yeah, the first one
is not the worst thing that you've made me watch. So
the first Top Gun is so 80s.
Yeah. It is the definitive 80s
The
movie,
definitive 80s.
Yeah.
And then Top Gun Maverick, I would say right away, one of the best legacy sequels ever. Like, I think it's better in every single way. And you got to watch it. But here's the thing. We just did the Robert Downey Jr. duology. Now let's do the Tom Cruise duology.
Oh, are we going to just go through all my least favorite actors?
Well, I can't think of another duology with... I don't know.
Samuel Jackson.
Actually, there is that you like that I don't like. Maybe we should do Hitman's Bodyguard. Because I don't like those movies, and there's only 2 of them.
Hilarious. You know what? When my students ask me, what is your favorite movie? Which is only slightly less unanswerable than what is your favorite book, which is Also, in the same conversation as what's your favorite song, those are all questions you should not ask people because they don't have answers. But my standard answer to those students is the movie What About Bob? So I think we are going to watch What About Bob next week. It is, if not my favorite movie, it is in the top 3. I've seen it so many times. It's still funny. Every single time I watch it, I laugh, and it just brings me joy. So it's got Richard Dreyfuss, it's got Bill Murray, and I think it's, if not both of those actors' best performances, it's definitely in the top. So, have you ever seen it?
I've seen it, but not for a long time.
Okay. So it came out when I was a freshman in high school. I remember it. I remember seeing the stuff, what are they, trailers for it and being like, dang, I want to watch that. But I didn't get to watch it because my parents went and watched it. And then they'd already seen it, and so they weren't going to rent it again. And so I'm like, what?
The 80s are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to watch potentially my favorite movie of all time. What About Bob?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my inoculation against Tom Cruise. But there we go.
Anyway, I guess it's mostly the first movie, but collectively, I like the concept of Sherlock Holmes a whole lot.
Yeah, I love
I think these
Sherlock
movies are
Holmes.
fun. They're steampunky adventure action stuff, but
Yeah, they are a lot less steampunky than I remembered. So now I have to figure out what movie I was thinking about that I thought these were.
Is it The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
No, it's not that. But I like that a lot more than everyone else did.
I'm also...
I don't know why everyone hates that movie so much. It's super clever. I mean, there are a lot of plot holes, but like just the idea of it is super clever. But
you know, Sean Connery turned down Lord of the Rings and The Matrix to be in that movie.
Less good call, but good call on Lord of the Rings.
Also, did you know Robert Downey Jr. was going to be in Cowboys and Aliens, but then did this movie instead? And
good call.
That movie is also not the best, but it's also a movie called Cowboys and Aliens, or Versus Aliens.
I think I've seen it.
It's got Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig in that movie.
It's kind of cool.
What about Bob? It's time to go back to New Hampshire.
Yeah. New Hampshire? I could probably quote most of that movie, actually.
I'm excited to see what philosophical ideas we pull out of that.
Actually, I didn't think of that. I'm sure there's... Oh,
yeah, there's gotta be.
Death therapy. That's in there.
Anyway, we love you.
We do love you.
Think critically.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Enjoy What About Bob?